This is Rob Tebbutt for ID Boxing. Delighted to be joined by the juggernaut Joe Joyce. We're here at the Tyson Fury Fury-Chisora 3 weigh-in. Joe, you're recognised everywhere now. You're getting all kinds of shouts.
I'm getting heckled. I don't know how I'm going to do this interview, honestly.
That's when you know you've made it. You know you've made it when you start to get people heckling you, Joe.
I know, yeah, it's not bad. I'm in a good position. It's exciting times.
Now, if it gets too much, don't worry. We'll turn the camera off. You go sort them out. We'll pick it up straight back up after.
Mate, I'm taking this mic and I'm launching it any second now.
How are you, Joe? It's been a little while since I've seen you. Last time I saw you, I think it was the Monday after your win over Joyce-Parker. You said you were going on holiday. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, good holiday. Good. Had a couple of trips and a little downtime, and now I'm back here, ticking over. I'm back at Elsfield training, and should be going out to Vegas in the new year for the fight coming up in February, March.
Good stuff. It's been a little bit of a time now since you win over Joyce-Parker. Have you gone back and watched the fight? And if so, what did you make of your performance?
Yeah, I've watched the fight quite a few times, especially straight after. I watched it at least twice, but I watched it recently, the highlights again. It was good to see, and obviously I've seen quite a few times a highlight knockout.
It was some knockout, but I think one of the most impressive things about the performance was the jab, the variant of the jab. I know everybody was going into the fight talking about, Joe Joyce's chin and your engine and what have you, but I think you showed in that fight that your boxing skills are maybe a little bit underrated.
Yeah, I think everyone just talks about my chin all the time, but I do throw a lot of punches. I've got a good engine. I obviously take a good shot. But yeah, the combinations and the skills that I'm learning from Salas, if people pay attention to actually what I'm doing, then they might get a bit more from it.
You're back with Salas now. Obviously, you were with Salas when you turned pro, then you went with Adam Booth, Abel Sanchez. You found yourself back with Salas. How much has he been an influence on your career, and what, going back to him, what did that mean for you, and how have you progressed since?
It's been key, to really, that's who I started my pro career with, and he really instilled into me that the biomechanics and the fundamentals of boxing, and then he couldn't train me anymore because he was injured. So then I went and tried out with Abel Sanchez. I really liked training there. Really liked Abel Sanchez, and his methods and stuff were good. They made me a lot stronger and a lot tougher. And then coming back, I didn't really have a base, so I came back to London and started training with Adam Booth, and that was great too. Learnt more skills, more fast twitch, head movement and things like that. So yeah, it's some good stuff there. And then obviously I came back, it was like a triangle. I came back to Salas in the end.
You won the WBO interim title in your last fight. That, of course, makes you mandatory for the WBO title when that mandatory gets called. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen for a little bit of time. But I'm sure you're looking forward to getting back into the ring. Do you know when that's going to be, Joe?
Back in the ring? Yeah, that'll be early next year, February, March kind of time. But I didn't hear the last the question.
It's about you getting back in the ring. Obviously, the WBO, the mandatory is not going to be called for a little bit of time, and you kind of found yourself back in that position again, Joe, where you've got a position to protect, and the chin, the punching power, the engine. There's not too many people lining up to fight Joe Joyce, is there?
Well, how do you know? Well, now I've got something to offer. I'm highly ranked. I'm the WBO interim heavyweight champion of the world, I might add. So after I guess when Fury and Usyk want to fight or not, then I'll be elevated. Should be elevated. Anyway, I'm in a good position. So there's plenty of fights. I'm in that elite bracket now from beating Joyce-Parker like that. So there's plenty of good fights out there. You can match me against all the top names and see how I'll do. So people want to see me fight. I'm an exciting fighter. I maybe take punches and give really strong ones, and a lot of them, and it's exciting to watch. So
it certainly is exciting to watch, and where I was going with that, so I sat down with Oleksandr Usyk's promoter a couple of days ago. I said to him, you've got Joe Joyce, who's the WBO mandatory, you've got Filip Hrgovic, who's the IBF mandatory, and Daniel Dubois, who's the WBA mandatory. Which one of them is the hardest fight? And he said Joe Joyce.
Yeah, no brainer. The juggernaut. El Juggernaute.
El Juggernaute indeed. Right, let's talk about Tyson Fury and Chisora. Now, Tyson is somebody that you know very well. You shared sparring with him years ago when you were in Big Bear. The general feeling here is that Tyson's a big favourite. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. From watching the last time the two tangled, it was a long fight where Fury was just jabbing Chisora's head off. So I think I left before the end. But here, hopefully it'll be exciting and I'll be staying.
You'll be staying, but it'll be cold, Joe. I hope you got a big coat.
Why is it outside in this weather, by the way?
I don't know, maybe you could have a word with George Warren. I just see him walk past there. Maybe you can get you somewhere. A nice, yeah, go get him. Do you give Derek any chance? I mean, it's a huge task for him. He's lost twice to Tyson. Do you give him a chance to spring any upset?
The thing is with Derek, he always brings it. He always brings war and excitement, and like that's why people want to watch him. And it always you're like wondering if he's going to do it this time, and because he gets so close as well. Sometimes he's like. He might be on the wrong end of the decision, maybe, or like, you know, he does put the work in, and sometimes he like lands the overhand right and he gets the win. But like he's been fighting top names for a long time, and yeah, I think he's got a shot. He's got a puncher's chance.
Tyson Fury's been talking you up and saying that you're the second best heavyweight in the world, and he's talked about a potential fight with you later in 2023. That must be music to your ears, Joe.
Yeah, I always want to fight him. I've got a lot of time for the Furies. Tyson Fury's a great guy, so I see him here and there. We've shared the ring, like sparring and stuff, and in the training camp. So yeah, he's a good guy, and yeah, it'd be good. It'd be a great challenge for both of us.
If he does come past Chisora this weekend, which a lot of people expect him to do so, and he goes into that fight with Oleksandr Usyk, how do you see that one playing out?
With Fury and Usyk. I think Fury's probably I think it's going to be a tricky fight, man, because Usyk is got skills, southpaw as well, and fast, and he can do the 12 rounds. So, but I think it's on him to do the business, because I think Fury's like too big, too like he's going to make it too messy in there, and I think he'll probably get the victory.
I know it was a long time ago, and I know you've both developed a lot as fighters since then, but when you boxed him in the WSB, how good was he compared to other fighters that you fought in the amateurs and the pros, Oleksandr Usyk?
Oh, he's much better, because he was the only gold medalist that I fought in WSB, and he was at like kind of catch weight, and he was just fresh off London. So yeah, he was like, and this is him after having like 350 amateur fights, so I'd probably only had 70 or 60 or something.
Did you see Dillian Whyte's performance against Jermaine Franklin, another heavyweight?
Nah.
Why not, Joe? What were you doing? Were you playing Call of Duty again?
I don't watch boxing. What do you take me for? No, joking. Yeah, I was probably playing. I was probably playing for Call of Duty actually, but.
Last time I spoke to you was a couple of days after the Joyce-Parker win, and that's the first thing that you said. I think you just had a beta come out, and he said you were looking forward to getting home and playing it. How are you getting on?
Oh yeah, so I got home and the beta was ended, so that was a bit of a letdown. But I tried the Undisputed beta though. That was good.
Did you play a bit of a weird question? Did you?
Yeah, before the fight I was playing the Call of Duty beta though. Yeah, that was good, man.
How did you find the Undisputed game? Excuse the question, but did you play as yourself? Did you play with yourself?
Not in the beta. They had who do they have? They had Ward Gatti.
What's wrong with you?
Well, I tried both of them, obviously.
Staying with the heavyweight division, Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte. There's been talk about that potential rematch happening. Anthony Joshua is somebody that you know well, and you've spoken about the potential for you guys fighting in the pros. How do you see that one playing out?
That is what is a great question. I think it's a great fight at this time, and may the best man win. Like I want to see that and see how they do, because the first fight was great. So yeah, let's see it again.
Before I let you go, Joe, just going to talk about Daniel Dubois, of course, one of your old adversaries in the ring, returns against Kevin Lerena. Do you know much about Kevin Lerena? And if so, how do you expect that one going?
Dubois knockout. Well, I've seen him, and he's a small cruiserweight, so he's probably going to get folded in the first couple of rounds, I'd imagine.
Okay, well, we look forward to seeing that. Joe, before I let you go, who do you want? There's a queue of heavyweights out there looking for an opportunity. You've got that WBO interim heavyweight title, as you mentioned. Who do you want? If you could pick your opponent for next time out, who would it be?
Well, Fury, Usyk.
Not going to be then because they're going to fight each other.
Oh, okay, well, fine. I'll fight. I don't know. Anyone else? Maybe Wilder in Vegas. That would be a good fight.
We spoke about that before, about Deontay Wilder's right hand versus Joe Joyce's chin. I think it's like the lab experiment that boxing needs. Is that a fight that you boxed on the same card, or the Wilder Fury 1 over there in LA? I remember at the time.
We both train in the UFC. I've seen him in the UFC facility as well, so we'll be in rival camps.
You get on with Wilder though, don't you? He's a nice guy.
Yeah, I like Wilder. Yeah, he's cool, man.
What did you make of his win over Robert Helenius?
Yeah, it was expected, but I didn't expect it that soon.
That'd be a good one. Hopefully we get to see you and Deontay in the ring one day soon.
Possibly.
We look forward to it. Joe Joyce, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for speaking to ID Boxing. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
You're welcome.